this is like an episode long time in the making because like to be frank, like I have been doing so much content that trying to keep up with the podcast and plus like a lot of its hidden costs, I had to decide like which ones are like the best to move forward. And especially looking back on the old videos that I wasn't at the right space and I didn't really feel confident in myself to carry on with what I originally have with intuitive framework. So why did I decide to like do like just these random like talk to videos, like what I'm doing, very old school YouTube style, like 2016 and stuff. Except that it's still like a podcast format, except I am just like going to just upload onto YouTube and onto Substack if you're watching wherever I'm uploading is, but not going through like the formal what do you call it? The train of like pipeline. That's the word pipeline of just going on to like Apple Podcasts and everything because I feel like it's not really necessary for me, like where I'm currently at this stage. So the easiest format for me, because like even for me personally, like when I not read, when I listen to podcasts, I like to like watch the videos while listening to it, or even like where I'm driving, because it's no different from like putting it at the background while I'm like doing something else. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do more, it's like whenever I'm gonna be like crocheting and stuff like that, or like knitting eventually when I get to that stage, I'm just gonna be doing my project over here and also like uploading this, like what my life is up to. Because like I had this comment that I would definitely like put it up here. And it really resonates with me of like at the time, like when I think I upload 5 or 8 videos, just like try to do this podcast and everything. And they only got like 9 views, 5 views, sometimes even like no views at all. But this commenter commented and it made me realize like, okay, this is like a sign to go back into this format. Except I don't want to put too much like work on myself because I'm trying to like set up my business of image consulting while studying astrology, while making other types of content online because like this is like my year to get things up and rolling. Plus, like there's a lot of things like going on in my personal life, nothing like too extreme, but I for myself this year want to go out more into the real world and less consuming like social media and being solo online because especially like working by yourself, it can be like very lonely to say the least. And I forgot to mention this. So I'm making a foot scarf for my cousin, and I will definitely put a link in the description of the designer, and you could buy her pattern and stuff. The pattern is called Easy Crochet Foot Scarf, I believe. I'll just like put a name, and it's by Ava Paula. She's also a YouTuber, and also I link her. And yeah, and what to say the least is like, this is gonna be like tricky, like multitasking, like crocheting, hold trying to like get my thoughts and stuff like that. So we'll wait and see. So the things, I think probably it's easier for me to just talk, but this is just like a crochet update on my side. It's right now, it's January 28th and like into this new year so many things happening around the world, to say the least. And this month, I was primarily focused on like just getting my foot like out the door with content and stuff. But then I realized I'm not so keen to consume content as I used to be. Consuming content meaning like TikTok, Instagram, or just like YouTube. I still mostly am on YouTube because I feel like it's not as like short attention span as like the other social medias. And plus, I want to be more focused on being a creator than a consumer. And what I realized, at least like what I should do, because I'm not someone who loves to be in front of the camera, to say the least. I'm tend to be very shy. But at least like what I did just now, just before recording this, is that I need to get myself out there, even if I make mistakes and even if I don't feel comfortable with stuff. The irony of it all is that I think it's the time limitation of short form content that made me feel nervous rather than like long form content on YouTube makes me feel. And to say the least, I'm definitely trying to like test more and experiment more, learning like Final Cut Pro instead of just like rely on like CapCuts and such. And what I've really learned from a lot of these experiences is that it's better to improve like a little bit at a time instead of trying to take like this big leap, which is very reminiscent of a book I actually just finished this morning. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It is very clear cut of it was a very easy read. And if you're someone who is very keen to know about how to set up that disciplinary routine to set yourself up for success, Atomic Habits is a really good book to read on that because it kind of makes the idea of trying to reach this level is not as difficult as everyone may think it is. Because what it is that you do like a 1% improvement each time, every day, no matter like what area of your life is, could be like in your career, content creation, your lifestyle, and like how you approach in your life per se. And I'm someone who's already like well disciplined in my everyday life because like I play tennis weekly, like since I was like a kid. And I did have like a 10-year gap in between, but I got back into like tennis, had much more fun than I ever had. That means like it led me to like waking up early to avoid the heat because like if you're wondering why I'm wearing short sleeves, where everywhere there's been snowstorms from what I hear is because I'm currently living in South Africa and it's like flippin' hot summer at the moment. So yeah, summer problems right here over here. The biggest takeaway I got from that book is that your habits make up for your identity. So it just fix on the idea that not everything is as clear cut. It's not as like boxed in as we always assume things to be. Because at the end of it, like your habits kind of like makes up for who you are. Because even if like, for example, you're not like a pro athlete at like my example is tennis. I'm not a pro by any means, and I still have a lot of areas to improve. But the first thing you can do is to go to do things like on a weekly basis, even if it's social. But because like I do like lessons weekly, I play socially weekly, and like I do a lot of things to like keep up with like the routine, like waking up early, dedicate, be on time and everything. That makes you like a tennis player by it, even if you're just recreational, as long as you do things consistently. And like another thing that I also started last year is that I actually started taking ballet classes, like beginner ballet classes. Like I've just happened to find a studio near me. She's amazing. And it's a group class. And I will have no dance experience whatsoever, but going to ballet classes weekly, even though I may not get like the turns or do like the points correctly or like accidentally like bending my knee and everything like that, I would still consider myself a ballerina because I've only been doing it for like, I think, yeah, a few months thus far, few months being 5, 6 months. Yeah. But I am like building up myself to be like part of like the class community and everything and still committed to it. Not because like, oh, just social and everything like that, but because I paid to be part of that class. So I am very well committed to make the most out of it because doing a payment keeps you responsible to keep up with it. Now with like content creation, I may not have like hundreds or thousands of subscribers, but because I'm dedicated myself to post weekly, by assigning yourself that identity, you have the license to call yourself a creator and business owner and so forth because you do things consistently on a weekly basis. And now like crocheting, I only started crocheting like literally since September, October, like till now. And now I'm able to create this and makes me I feel like at ease and so forth. So it's just to show that you have to do things like one step at a time. And this year, at least like for content creation, I promised myself that I will try to learn like at least one new technique or even something like, because I was using my iPhone originally to record a video. So with this one, I'm using my Canon EOS M200. Yeah, but it may not be I still trying to figure out how to connect this camera onto my computer so I don't have to connect with transferring the video. But so far, at least from the monitor, from what I see, it's doing like pretty good so far. So I'm very happy. So that's what I've been doing, at least like with my last few YouTube videos on my Moony Hue channel. This one is on my personal channel. But I'm quite happy for like how it's turning out thus far. Very happy with that. And I think like and so far, it's just what I realized is that you have to try and make things as simple as you can. So you don't have all of this friction to like stop you from reaching your overall goal. Because I love this quote by James in the book is that it's not about like trying to reach your goal because every one of us has a desired goal to reach at a certain stage. The long term is trying to maintain that habits, that lifestyle to say the so that's why like at least like for example, even just little synchronicities of just that one comment on a video with just 9 views, I still take that as a sign that it resonates with people. So at least like everything that I'd learned so far with like at least into January is that you take things like one step at a time, at least like keep the upkeep. And to me, just posting the video or even reading a book or finishing a piece and stuff, that gives me like a great satisfaction to say the least. And yeah, so to end this off, otherwise this video could go on to for 4 hours or more, to say the least, is that just remember that if you really want to take that first step towards the goal, all it takes is just preparation for success. So like for instance, when I'm setting up my reels, my short form video that I'm setting up for like my YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, I just prep with what is my step going to be the day before. And then I did my recording like first thing in the morning because one, like the recording is like I have natural lighting right here, like by the window, which is like the best during the day. And also like in the morning, I have the most energy to say the least rather than late afternoon. So you have to set yourself for success by doing little things bit by bit instead of just chunking it all at once because your body only has so much energy like in a day. So use it wisely and focus on things that helps you out for success because even like little things of just like scrolling on social media or watching YouTube or just like, or even something as like eating foods that are like not good for you, that kind of creates like a certain friction to how your day is going to be because every little minute, second, as people say, like time is extremely priceless and it's a commodity that everyone has. So to say the least, remember to try to use your time wisely and every little bit sets you up for success to say the least. So I hope this resonates with anyone, for anyone who's like keen to hear more and up the video like turns out good to say the least. And I definitely will say like trying to crochet while videoing is not my suit because I realize I can't really multitask because I need to count my rows and stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching this. Leave a comment if this resonates with you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and keep safe out there. Thank you, and have a good one.